If somebody arrives here to Budapest and the university, we think that to start the sports at ELTE is the best way through the courses, which is available for every student, and they can register for the sport through Neptune. And you can choose, if you're a student, like 40 kind of sports at the Neptune. And usually we have teachers, coaches who speak English really good.
Either you are a seasoned athlete or you're starting out, we're quite sure that there will be something for you. So, like among more than 40 different sports, I think we offer for now, we're quite sure that you can find an inspiring community of sports as well, some professional coaches, and also some nice sports facilities too. So it worth a shot to take a look at the wide-ranging sport offers, I think.
ELTE Walk. Everything you need to know about ELTE.
Welcome to the second season of the ELTE Walk podcast, a program of the ELTE International Strategy Office, which has been created to present everything you need to know about Eötvös Loránd University as a prospective or current ELTE student. This program is produced in cooperation with EPER Radio, the first university radio in the city of Pest. I'm Flóra Iskum, head of the International Office at the Faculty of Education and Psychology of ELTE, joined by my co-host Raissa Negrão, ELTE's International Student Ambassador and PhD candidate. Today we are going to talk about the University Sports Club, which offers sports activities and facilities for students and also for employees of Eötvös Loránd University. Our guests are Gábor Simon, the director of the club, and Mónika Marosi, sports and events coordinator. Please introduce yourselves in a few sentences and give us an overview on what the University Sports Club's role is at ELTE and in professional sports.
First of all, thank you for the invitation. I think sport at the university is a very important thing and a very important part of being a student at ELTE and doing some of the sports, what you can choose at the sport club. I was also a student at ELTE. I studied history and political sciences. And in the not so late past, I studied there an MBA, Master of Business Administration. So I have a lot of good memories about being a student at ELTE. And when I arrived to the university in my first year, one of my first thing was to find some of the sports. What can I do? What kind of sports can I do? And there was only one paper in the bag what the student union gave me, and there was only names and telephone numbers. And my first call was the guy who organized the football team, and I became the member of the football team in the first year, and it was a great experience for me. I could meet a lot of new students, and I make very good friendships with the university students. And when I finished my studies at ELTE, there was an opportunity for me to work at the sport club, and that's how I ended in the sport. During my university years, I was organizing sport events like football tournaments and some trainings, and that's why I chose the sport for work.
How did you become director?
It's an interesting thing because at that time I was 27, 28. There was nobody who would like to do this job because there was no salary and a lot of work, and the club was in a different shape like today, and that's how I started work from the zero. So it was an interesting thing to work at BEATS in the first years.
Welcome, everyone. It's so nice to be here. So, thanks for the opportunity again. Yes, I am currently the sport and event coordinator at the BELATS Center Sport Office, and I'm also the head coach of the Poland Aerial Fitness Department, head coach and sport manager. I also was an ALTA student once. I completed my bachelor's at ALTA Economics faculty a year ago, and BELATS was the first sports club in my entire life that I got engaged to. This was the place where I found my passion for sport. I've never really liked doing sports throughout my teenage years, my child years. And I came across with BELATS at the freshman's camp for the first time, I think. And then it took me a year to convince myself to go and try pole fitness. And it had my heart for the very first lesson. Since then, I was a sports person at Pole Fitness, and then I gained the sports scholarship at ALTA, and then I had the chance to become a coach, and then we're here. I also ran my research on sports consumption here at ALTA University. It was such an interesting story, and Gabor helped me a lot with my thesis, and basically that's how our work connection or partnership started. It was a year ago now.
Very nice. So you were, well, you have a little bit of the student experience as well for this talk. Which
yes, exactly.
Yes. And I know BELATS has a huge range of sports that you can do. As a student myself, I have read your portfolio because they are very good in English, in Hungarian as well. And I'd like to know more so you could talk to our listeners what you offer. Well, I know it's a huge range of sports. Which facilities are available for international students specifically, and what's the main, let's say, more popular sports that's available for students?
We have several ways to do sports, and I think maybe this is the best way to start. If somebody arrives here to Budapest and the university, we think that to start the sports at ALTA is the best way through the courses, which is available for every student, and they can register for the sport through Neptune. And you can choose, if you're a student, like 40 kind of sports at the Neptune. And usually we have teachers, coaches who speak English really good.
Just a question, Neptune, you said Neptune. Neptune is our online study management system, yeah? So that's what you're referring to, is it?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, it's important for the newcomers that they will meet Neptune regularly. Yeah. So through this system they can register. So it's a good way. The only problem with this, you can only go for a training only once per week. And we usually say that it's better to do a sport like 2 or 3 times a week. If you're a student, you have time for that, and I think it's better to get into any kind of sports. So after you choose a sport in the Neptune, you can go to the trainings. Usually the trainings in the afternoon, the courses is during 8 till 3 o'clock. So it's both. You can do both in the same time. As I mentioned, we have a lot of kind of sports. So team sports, martial arts, sports you can do outside and inside. So it's a big spectrum for the sports.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it's really important that either you are a seasoned athlete or you're starting out, we're quite sure that there will be something for you. So like among more than 40 different sports I think we offer for now, we're quite sure that you can find an inspiring community of sports as well, some professional coaches, and also some nice sports facilities too. So it worth a shot to take a look at the wide-ranging sport offers, I think.
Yeah, like in team sports, basketball, futsal, handball, soccer, volleyball, water polo, martial arts like box, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, goju-ryu, karate, kickbox, kung fu, and Muay Thai. Aerobics is a different kind of different types: body shaping, spine training, fat burning, Pilates and Zumba. And we have dances like Argentine tango, belly dance, hip hop, modern dance, racket sports like badminton and table tennis, fitness sports, functional trainings, DRX, kettlebell, and water sports like kayak, canoe, water polo, and other sports like, as Monica said, aerial, hammock, aerial hoop, and track and field. It's like athletics and cheerleading. We have a really good cheerleading team. I think we can talk about later. Chess, darts, hiking, orienteering, pole fitness, spinning. We have the stand-up paddle, the SUP, stand-up paddle. It's a really nice thing. And we have triathlon, swimming, running, and cycling together, yoga, and wall climbing. These are the sports, exactly.
That's a huge variety. I wouldn't be able to recall half of them, I'm afraid.
Yeah. And some of them, I don't even know the details what it's about that you are talking, because they look so they seem so specific. I just had one follow-up question. Like, you have so many sports. How many facilities do you have to accommodate all this?
We organize more than 50 places, different places. But the main centers we have in the Buda side, this is the Bogdanfi Street. It's around the Lágymányos buildings, close to the campus. Another one, Mérnök Street, there is the football and table tennis and tennis and etc. And we have a center for the sports like canoe and the stand-up paddle. It's close to the Danube, and it's a really nice place.
So people actually do SUP and canoeing on the river Danube?
Yeah, the small Danube, not the big Danube.
Not in the mainstream, but
the mainstream, yeah. So it's a beautiful place, and it's like 15 minutes from the city center, so it's beautiful.
You also mentioned that students can register for sports courses as part of their studies. So how is it if they can take lessons? Are they included in their curriculum? Do they get credits, ECTSs, or is it free? So what are the arrangements?
Yeah, so some of these sports that Gábor has mentioned can even be taken for credit, and you can earn academic recognition for them as part of your curriculum here at ELTE. And the wonderful portfolio for them is exactly the Neptune system. So they will find them all of these courses they can apply to in the Neptune. The only thing you should do is typing VTN as the course code when searching for these courses. And most of the time, actually I think always, they can always find all of the information needed about the place, about the price, because it's very important that even as an international student, these courses has a price per semester, so it was to check it up before applying to them. And also even parasports, I think it's another important topic, are included in the courses you can take for credit.
So the parasports are goalball and swimming for disabled students at ELTE. So we have a cooperation with the department of the university, which works with students with disabilities.
All right, I see. I remember that I did sports for credits before, and indeed I can confirm that it's very easy to find it in Neptune. And also the price is not expensive. And because, for example, if you're going to, sign up for gym, for example, you'd pay per month and it's quite pricey. But if you sign up for credits, you get credits. Plus, it's like a symbolic price per semester. So it's not something.
Yes, exactly. So you're going to those classes like for 13 weeks. So for the whole semester, it's almost 3 months in a row. So that's a lot. It was always a big vision for BELT, I think, to make sports accessible for everyone, especially for students. So that's why we're doing what we're doing, to make sports the part of their life. And we exactly know that it can be hard while your student years, while achieving all your scientific and academic grades and classes and so on. And it's mostly before finding a job. It's really important. So we're talking about undergraduate people. So that was also the main aim of Beat's strategy.
Yes, and these sport possibilities are really good for foreign students, for international students to meet local Hungarian students and to meet each other. I can say that I think we have around 4,000 international students in 1 year at ELTE, and all the sports are really popular in this community, the international students community. We like to organize special courses for international students. And for us, it's important to have coaches and trainers and teachers who speaks English, and they can solve these kind of problems that to organize a training for Hungarian and international students. I think everybody can join these trainings easily.
Yeah, and it's actually a way to get away a little bit of the academic life and have some fun time. Because at least from my perspective, I was doing table tennis for credits, and it's what I was not facing as like a sport that I need to go to get credits. It was like a fun time and meeting new people. Well, I think there was only 2 internationals and the rest was Hungarian. So it was also good to meet with them because as an international student in an international program, you don't have Hungarian classmates that much. I think I had 1 or 2. Now in PhD is a little bit more tricky because it's all about research. But when I was doing my master's here at ELTE, I think the first contact I had with Hungarians was through the table tennis, because they were all Hungarians, and it was very nice. And we even went out afterwards, not like outside the class. We even went out and hang out. So I think it's a very good place and important strategy to build a little community with the locals as well and learn a little bit about the people. Yes. Talking about students and credits is very nice, but there is also an important question that we want to ask. If you also train professional athletes as well, and how is this integrated with the students or separated?
Yes, Beat is a big sport club. It was one of the first sport clubs in Hungary. It was founded in the 19th century, 1898. So we just celebrated the 125th birthday of the club, and the first president of the club was Loránd Eötvös, whom after the university was named, and that time he was the rector, the first man of the university. So it's a traditional club. We have 6 Olympic gold medalists. So we work with professional athletes, and we have teams in the national first division, like in women basketball or futsal, men futsal. But usually the 80% of the participants and our members are from the university, so they are amateur sport persons. So they don't compete in a high level, so they are not elite in sport. But as a university sport club, it's the university sport is. That's why it's beautiful, because it mixes a lot of layers of the sport, from the physical education to the first division. So, for example, if you go for a running competition, which we organize every year 2 times at the Lágymányos campus on the Buda side, it's a university running competition. You can run there with Gáspár Csere, whom was in Rio at the Olympics in the Hungarian team, and you can run with him if you are fast enough. But at the start, you can start with him. So it's a university sport club is that's why it's unique and interesting, because you can sport with top athletes from Hungary, and you can meet them at the sports center.
Sometimes you refer to the sports club with a name. You say Beats. What is it? Is it a nickname or an abbreviation? Or
yeah, this is the short name. Yeah, short name for University Sport Club of Budapest. That's the long name. And BEAC, usually the international students say BEAC, but it's BEAC. I hope they will learn it after the first trainings.
Okay. You mentioned that you organize running events. Are there any other events, programs that you offer apart from the regular sports courses? Something like the running contest?
Yeah, I think the running is one of the biggest and best programs, so I recommend it. But for example, we have football, five-a-side. So this is for small teams, five-a-side university championship. So it's a really good opportunity to join to the football community of the ELTE. And we have like 20 kind of different tournaments, and there is more than 1,000 students who take part in the competition. Usually it starts in the middle of September and middle of March or end of March. So this is typically for the students. And which one is my favorite is the yoga at Füvészkert. Füvészkert is a botanical garden at ELTE. I think it's, as I mentioned, the sports center on the Danube River is one of the best places of ELTE. The other best place is the Füvészkert, the botanical garden, because it's in the heart of the city and it's like a beautiful, beautiful garden. It has a marvelous atmosphere, and we organize there yoga classes. So it's a really nice event. Usually it's in the summer, during the summer when the weather is the best.
Is it only for students or employees can join in?
Of course, employees too. So
I'm going to be yours next time.
I think we will start to organize it soon. So you are welcome.
So I would like to add to this list the Sports Week. We have 2 times a year. This is a 1-week-long event welcoming all interested participants from ELTE, students, staff, alumni, everyone, basically, because it's an open week. So it means that from Monday to Sunday, you can try all of ELTE's sports facilities for free. Basically, this is always the first week, the really first week of the semester. So it is held in September, like most of the time the second week of September, I think, and the second week of February when the autumn and the spring semester starts. And you can reach out to all kinds of sports, I think, for a week. You can meet like-minded people. You can try out on new sports. You can gain some experience on what you would like to continue on doing during the semester. So this is what Sports Week's about. My favorite event, sports event, is KEK, but I'm sure Gabor will talk about it soon. A real quick spoiler about it. It's one of the hugest university sports events in Hungary and in neighboring countries, where this year was the first year where in 15 sports you can compete and meet new people from universities all over Hungary and beyond the borders of Hungary. It was a huge experience and a really nice experience to be there. So that's my favorite one.
And does that happen every year?
Yes, every March.
Oh.
Every March, yeah.
That's very interesting that you offer for free. So students can try, because if they can fit into what they want, right, in the sports week, I mean. Can they try different sports at once, as long as they can in that week? Or they need to sign up for, I don't know, let's say maximum of 3 sports?
There's not a maximum at the participation. However, most of the time we have some limitations on the places available. So I think most of the time offered during the sports week is registration limited also because of this. But for example, for cheerleading, for aerobics, I think there's no ceiling at the sports week.
I just want to ask a question, because Gabor mentioned about the cheerleading team of Hungary, that they're very good. And I know that Hungary is very traditional in different sports. So I'd like you just to touch upon the main sports that Hungary excels. I know swimming is one of them.
We have at the university Olympic champion in fencing, Áron Szilágyi. He's a 3-time Olympic gold medalist, but he's not competing in the color of Beats.
He has his own club,
Yeah,
and
he
he
has a club.
competes
Yes,
within.
club, not in Beats.
I see, but he's affiliated with ELTE.
Yeah,
Even
he was
understand.
an ELTE student. Yes,
I
so
understand.
ELTE has a lot of elite sportmen, sportwomen, and for example, we have really good players in water polo, which is a typical traditional Hungarian sport. Cheerleading is not a typical Hungarian sport, but ELTE is unique in cheerleading because we had the first university team here in Hungary. One of my colleague, Rita Kovácsik, who works at ELTE now at PPK, she's a teacher there, and she, as a student, started to organize a team, and during 15 years, they became so big and so successful and so competitive that previous year in Florida at the World Championship in the United States, they were competing with a big team and they become the seventh. I think they are the seventh at their category, and it started from a university team and they became one of the most successful in the world. So that's why I think it's interesting. But typical Hungarian sports, and which sports we are good in it, it's canoeing, kayak, water polo, fencing, swimming. These are the top sports, and the listeners who are listening this podcast, they are, I think, maybe preparing for to watch the Olympics in Paris, and there will be a lot of ELTE students at the Olympics this year.
That's so impressive. That's very impressive.
We have Bianca Pop. She's a para-athlete, and she was the last Olympics gold medalist in para-swimming. And now she is the face of the university sport. We have a role for her. Our rector gives this award every year to one student who will be that year the face, the representative of the sport, of the university sport. So we are really proud for her achievements and for her results. And she also will be competing at the Olympics in Paris.
We will cross our fingers for
Yes.
her, definitely.
Yes. For her and all the Hungarian athletes in general. Is there something else you like to add that you think is important?
Maybe one last topic. We haven't talked about the sport in the dormitories yet. This is quite of an important segment of ELTE sport, I think, because almost a dozen of our sports have moved in to the dormitories of ELTE, and residents can participate in those sport lessons at the dormitories. So right in place for free also. So this is also a continent of Beats and ELTE sports, which is important.
Yes, and one more topic I think which is important. We have a website, beac.hu. This is the website of the club, and we have, I think, almost everything in English. So if anybody would like to find a sport which fits him or her the best, I think they can go to the website. And also we have Facebook and Instagram, so they can find us everywhere.
And just remembering that all the websites and important information we are going to put in the podcast episode notes. So the listeners also will be able to access that through
perfect.
This platform. I think I had just one follow-up question very quickly, because you mentioned that anybody can join or try. Is there a period that they should, if not for credit, that they should sign up at the beginning of the semester? There is the time of the year that they should sign up, or any time of the year?
Usually we advise every student to start the trainings from the beginning of the semester. For example, as you mentioned, the courses, they start at the beginning, so it's a must.
Yeah.
But to join our trainings, it's open during the year, so they can join anytime. I give only one exception because there are sports like spinning or the SUP or TRX or kettlebell, where is a limited space for the participants. There will be no place for them to join. So that's why we say the best to start at the beginning of the semester. But for example, for running or swimming, they can join anytime.
Well, would like to thank you again for coming, Gabor and Monica, and also thank you, Florian, my host. In the next episode, international students will talk about their experience in Budapest, what it's like to be an international student in the capital city of Hungary. Stay tuned. Thank you again, and goodbye.
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 Bye-bye.